We have no mercy for those that come to disrupt the restoration of this struggle. We don't negotiate with anyone. We will never do that. Because when you do things like that, you encourage the same thing to be inside the government, and they will continue to do what they are doing. There's an added access.
Welcome, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom across the world. I welcome you to this amazing platform. Thank you so much for joining me on today's program, and I wish you a very happy new year. Finally, we are now in the year 2025, and as we proceed in the year 2025, we must not forget that we have a lot of responsibilities. Our responsibility in this platform is to give you information and make sure that you have an update on what is going on in Biafra land, more especially things that has to do with the restoration of independent state of Biafra. Today, I am going to share with you a very important video. Please pay attention to this video. In all the information that we see here, you are going to see that they have started again a new deceit to distract us from the restoration of independent state of Biafra. We must not be distracted. It is either Biafra or nothing. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it to us, and he has not changed his mind. If anybody tries to insinuate that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have changed, that is a lie. Watch this video from beginning to the end. You will understand that the enemies will never give up. And those of us who are focusing on the restoration of Biafra, we must not give up. Do not get distracted, regardless what you hear or what you see. Always remember that it is Biafran first. All eyes must be on the rising sun. Every eye must be on the rising sun. Do not allow yourself to be carried away with things that are happening around you. The restoration of independent state of Biafra is one thing that we must focus on.
So let's go ahead
United
and
States of
listen
Biafra now. Let's watch
this very video. Pay attention. Let us listen to this very video. This was a video that Soludo made before, I think that was when he resigned from central bank governorship, and then he began to pursue his political career and began to lay foundation for what you are seeing today. And you see him the way he spoke there, and you begin to wonder, is he the same Soludo that was speaking there that you are seeing today? I want you to pay attention to this very video.
State indices and the rankings of Nigeria, we have been coming back precipitously from number 54 in 2005, now to number 13. We are one of the countries under the red alert list. And so it hasn't worked. The concoction hasn't worked. The 36 structure.
Here, Soludo is trying to tell you that Nigeria has never worked, hasn't worked, will never work. He is explaining to the people how Nigeria has failed. How Nigeria has failed is unworkable. Doesn't matter what you do. This is the same person that is the governor of Anambra State today. I want you to pay attention and listen to every single word this man is going to use here. Every word he uses here has a meaning. Let us pay attention to every single thing he has to say.
The failed or fragile state indices and the rankings of Nigeria, we have been coming back precipitously from number 54 in 2005, now to number 13. We are one of the countries under the red alert list. And so it hasn't worked. The concoction hasn't worked. The 36 state structure that we have today, Ofodile argues very forcefully that this current 36 structure is contrary to the instruments of surrender of Biafra. That there are three conditions that they agreed on the instruments of surrender. One of which was that the Biafrans accepted, said, we accept the current structure, which then was a 12-state structure. And that B or C of it was that any future change must bring all Nigerians on the table to agree. And that these were the things they signed at the instrument of surrender, but that the military unilaterally subsequently changed the structure without then the participation of...
I want you to listen. He's explaining what was signed up during the time at the end of the war. When Biafra surrendered to Nigeria and they said no victor, no vanquish, there was an agreement. And he explained those agreements and what was agreed and what you are seeing today. I want us to pay attention for you to understand that these evil men, including this idiot you are seeing here, they have all sold out. And the end is only for their own personal interest. That is why I said these people are wolves in sheep's skin. And some of them don't know why I can't say they don't know why they're doing what they're doing. They know it's about their personal interest. Their interest is not you, neither it is me. Let us listen to this man.
That these were the things they signed at the instrument of surrender, but that the military unilaterally subsequently changed the structure without then the participation of the other side. And he argued that this is against the instrument of the surrender, and that no wonder the Southeast has been marginalized out of it, 5 states out of the others having 6 and 7, as the case may be. Now there is the issue of unitary fiscal federalism instead of the 1963 Republican Constitution on fiscal federalism. There is the expansive exclusive list and having overpowerful Abuja. The development process is a trickle down from Abuja to the rest instead of a bottom-up economic and development arrangement. The census and revenue allocation that disadvantages the Southeast. There is the citizenship question. The Igbos think they become visitors everywhere all over the country. When it is time for census, the Southeast complain that they are about the only ethnic group that have maybe a majority of their people living outside of their homeland. And that during census, their populations are counted in the states where they live. Imagine a state, and then population becomes basis for sharing the oil money in Abuja. When it is time for that, you count them in there, you don't ask for state of origin in the census. But then, you use also the population to get the allocations. But when it is time to share anything else, you remind them that they don't belong here.
This thing he's saying here is a fact. This is one of the criminal acts of the Zoological Republic government. During population census, they will tell you that in every place you go, in any state you go in Nigeria, if you don't see a Biafran, run. They will tell you that Biafrans are scattered all over the state. And in every state in Nigeria, after the indigenous people, the next highest population is the Biafran people, more especially the Igbo Biafrans. After the indigenous people, the next population is the Biafran. And during census, they will count these Biafrans and join that state where they belong, where they are residing. They will count them and join that state where they are residing. And when they are sharing the resources, they share based on that calculation they did on that census. And now reducing the population of the people in Biafra land, more especially in the Southeast. So when you hear this explanation, you understand that. That's why I say anytime when they call it the North is more populated than the South. North is more populated. When you check in that census, in their census, they count, including the people who are residing there. And majority of those people are Biafrans. They say it by themselves that after the indigenous people in every state in Nigeria, the next highest population is the Biafran people. And they count them among those states during census. They use them to get allocation for themselves. They use them for it. But when it comes to other things, they relegate them to the background. I tell you have no right in that zone. These are one of the strategies and atrocities of the zoo. And except we get out of this contraption, this will never stop. This idiot knows about this. He is the one explaining it here in this conference. And yet, today, he is in forefront to perpetrate and progress the agenda of the Fulanis. What a shame. What a shame.
They leave. Imagine a state, and then population becomes basis for sharing the oil money in Abuja. When it is time for that, you count them in there. You don't ask for state of origin in the census. But then, you use also the population to get the allocations. But when it is time to share anything else, you remind them that they don't belong here, as the case may be. So there have been issues about citizenship question, and so on and so forth. So, in other words, this system, it's not just the Southeast or the Igbos that complain. It has not worked for Nigeria. And my thesis is that even if any government, including this one, just have all the political appointments from the one village, my thesis is that the life of the average person in that village will not change. Just rewind it again, and think the other way. The last regime, we had an Ebele Azikiwe as president. We had secretary to government. We had minister of finance and coordinating minister on the economy. We had all of this, deputy senate president, this, that, and so on and so forth. Most of the financial institutions headed by people from the Southeast. And yet, there is no motorable federal highway in Igbo land. This thing is an elite game, as far as I'm concerned. The issue of who and whatever and so on and so forth is not taking us anywhere. And unless we get to the heart of it. So, it seems that there is a consensus today. There is a consensus. If you take it much broadly, the North, so-called North, if you calculate the number of years they were in power, but essentially, poverty is still predominantly a northern phenomenon. So, that you control this and a few billionaires are met here and there and so on and so forth means absolutely nothing. The ordinary man in Nigeria has not benefited, is getting worse off by the current system that we have. But there is a consensus now on restructuring. And in that case, Fodile would argue that Biafra becomes a metaphor for agitation by oppressed people for justice, equity, and...
This is where they corrupt this struggle. These idiots, these politicians, these criminals that use Biafra for their selfish interest, this is where they land. Whenever they tell you that Biafra is a metaphor for oppressed people. That is the interpretation they always give. Biafra is a country that existed before and continued to exist in our hearts. Biafra was a nation from 1967 to 1970, fought a brutal war. If you are not a Biafran, you can't know what it means to be a Biafran. Somebody from the north cannot come and tell me because he's oppressed, he's a Biafran. You are not. You don't know what it takes to be a Biafran. You don't know what it feels to be a Biafran. There was a time, this one they call Aisha, that Aisha, the activist, came out and said that we are all Biafrans. We are all Biafrans. You can't be, don't deceive us with those kind of nonsense and ideologies. Biafra is a metaphor for people who are oppressed. And before they will come, they will tell you Biafra is a thing of the mind. These are people working for the Soludo Republic in their criminal agendas. And this man is one of them. This is when he was preparing himself for what he's doing today. This is when he was late for. This was about 10 years ago or so. He was preparing himself for what is happening to me. And when you hear him speak, look at how he started on that explanation he started. Identifying all the problems, all the atrocities committed against us. And yet, they are still the ones holding this very mantle for the caliphate, for the British to continue to extort the Biafran people. It is sad. Very, very sad. But we must continue.
Fairness. It hasn't worked for anybody. If you look at President Buhari recently said he also supports amendment of the Constitution or devolution. If you read the APC manifesto, it says, quote, as a change agent, APC intends to cleanse our closet to halt the dangerous drift of Nigeria to a failed state with a conscious plan for post-oil economy in Nigeria. To achieve this laudable program, APC government shall restructure the country, devolve power to the units with the best practices of federalism, and eliminate unintended paralysis of the center. End of quote. This is the government in power that controls 23 states. This is the APC manifesto. So, and the Southern People's Assembly talk about the same thing. The Afenifere's position on the National Conference, if you read it, talks about the same thing. The National Conference report talks, supported by PDP, the same thing. So what is holding us? I must say the goal of this bid should be political stability and economic prosperity. In my view, a competitive federalism. We can write a book on this aspect of competitive federalism. Compared to the First Republic, when everybody had theirs, they had the resources, especially on revenue, fiscal federalism. Argued before, leave everybody their own thing, let them pay taxes to the center. This umbilical cord where Abuja will set wage for everybody all over the country, and so on and so forth. It was for a time when oil money paid for it, not anymore. Even in the US, you may have read about the governor of Maine, that the wife of the governor had to take a job in a restaurant to augment their income. Because given the state of Maine, the salary of the governor was not enough for them to survive on. And the wife had to take a job in a restaurant. The governor of Maine salary cannot be the same as the mayor of New York, and so on and so forth. But here we've done all of this. Abuja control. Anyway, that's for another day. But what is holding us now, what I call as matter arising, is that the devil is in the details. Let the debate begin. What exactly do we mean by restructuring? The National Conference report, for example, is the beginning. But in my view, doesn't go much. It talks about creating more states, which misses the point. It's still more of the same. We are saying the ones that you have are not viable. 20-something states today cannot pay salaries. So what are we talking about? Or should we go back to the EQMS constitution, the proposal of 6 zonal structure as the federating units? What model of federation? Should we use the UAE, the United Arab Emirates system, or which one are we going? Let us get to work and begin to think. Some people propose, and I agree, that we need a new constitution negotiated by the people of Nigeria. And my thesis is that if this is the only achievement of President Buhari, he would have been the greatest statesman ever in the mold of Abraham Lincoln. But we need to get this done. The people of Nigeria will have to get together and negotiate a new constitution for themselves.
ọ bụ na ịchọbụ ka anyị gbaa nwoke m ọtọ okoko anọ ọ bụ na ịchọbụ ka anyị gbaa ezigbote ọtọ, that means we ought to follow this statement, these things he's talking about, word by word or sentences by sentences, because only Foku before, there are certain things he has said that really requires or debunking and putting him to shame, but as he continues, so a lot more things are coming up and we are not able to deal with it. But I guess maybe there's not much time to go through it. But what man, all deserve no it's about because his lies and deception, that brain, that manipulation, he thinks that he's too smart for the people. It's just unfortunate because even in Oku, none of it, nothing changed from when he was making these statements and when he became part of the government. Nothing has changed. and nothing is going to change. In fact, it has gotten worse. It has gotten worse because I believe that after this statement from him, they probably drawn him in and had a talk with him and make him to become one of them, and eventually a governor, and he just obviously turned a different human being altogether. So that is just the sad part of it, you know.
Of course, it was after this statement that he joined and become part of their economic team.
Exactly. So and to become that member of the economic team, yeah, he must have gone through re-radicalization, because he's talking now like a radical that believes in objective development and everything, but at the end you just have to, like they say sometimes, if you can't beat them, you join them. So it's really sad that he's now in a way more worse situation than he was, because he just playing the script of the Fulanis. That is the saddest part. The saddest part is that people don't know that Soludo is playing a script from the Fulanis. He is very, very savvy the way he's playing it, and got a lot of people believing it. That is really, really sad, you know. So.
Yeah, the man is just opposite of everything he's saying here. That is why I'm playing he's going to even say worse thing. You're going to see worse thing. He's going to say worse thing.
There's a word.
Trying to run into, if there is any place we have to talk about or interject, you are free to make a contribution there or post it, and then we will talk about it.
Yeah, there's a language, there's a word he used, compulsion. I overheard him use the word compulsion at the beginning when he said that, more like there's no point trying to force like one Nigeria or the system, because that is what it's all about. That's what it is. They are forcing the system on people. They are forcing one Nigeria on people without giving people a chance. It's like the form of the strangest, or what would I want to say? The funniest part of what you can ever imagine, that you will deprive people opportunity to speak their mind, to even hear what they want. Is just say no. It doesn't matter. We don't care what you want. We're imposing on you what we want, not what you want. We don't even want to hear what you want. That is what is going on in Nigeria. And that was the position of Soludo when he used the word compulsion, because he knows deep down that Nigerian system is one imposed on the people. And as we speak today, nobody cares about that. P2B is perambulating around now as we speak. Jesus Christ. Bala Mohammed, we may come to that. That Bala Mohammed is the guy.
Can I?
Hello?
Go ahead.
Okay, can I come a little bit? You know,
wait, Christian, are you done? Just round up so that Greg will come in.
Well, okay, let me speak, because I wanted to, when I see these things, it's mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. P2B is going around with terrorists, a known terrorist, Bala Mohammed. He's one who said that under Buhari regime, they have a program to integrate the Fulani from the entire Sahel region into Nigeria. And this is the guy now telling P2B that it will become this, because they are like, their back is against the wall. The Fulani's back is against the wall. We live in a different dispensation, and their cup don't full. I'm telling you, if you see what's in there happen now with this American administration, their cup don't full. But okay, carry on, bro. Great. So
thanks, my brother Chris. And if you watch this man you call Soludo, you remember where he was making this statement. This statement, he made it during the time of Fordil's
inauguration of
yes. So this was exactly who Soludo is. This is exactly who Soludo is. The point many people must understand in Nigeria and in that Biafra land, those people who give themselves to Nigeria government, who want to participate in Nigerian politics, there is things you must accept whether you like it or not. When Soludo was not in power, this is really whom Soludo is. Soludo believed in Biafra and Nnamdi ideology. Soludo understands what the Igbo people are going through. But because he is a coward, because Soludo is a coward, he changed immediately he got the power. Remember, when Soludo won governorship election in Anambra State, when he was inaugurated, Soludo inaugurated panel that will go and look if we actually want Biafra. I have not forgotten that. I don't know if some of you know when he did that.
Yes, I heard about it.
He appointed Bianco Ono. He appointed, there were about 7 or 6 people that he appointed. He said, I want this commission, I want them to go and let them go and discuss and know if indeed we want Biafra.
It was all deceit. It was all deceit.
Yeah.
That was what happened when he won. So, what happened, you must understand in Nigeria is this. It means if you win election, then there is inner caucus. People like Ateze, people like Emeka Fordem, people like Peter Obidem, people like many of them. They will call you and tell you what they want.
Yeah.
That this area is no-go area.
Exactly.
They will tell you that this area is no-go area. Let me give you an example. Look at what happened in Port Harcourt in this Ohanese election. They knew that that guy that was supposed to do, that this guy that had been fighting for the Igbo cause, that they tried to bring all the river people into Igbo communion, telling them that telling the Igbo people that they are Igbo. He is the person who standing with 100% support that he is an Igbo. Nobody will deny him Igbo origin. That man, he had been fighting. He fought with the what do you call him? The one that started at what's up? Wazirike. He supported the Wazirike. He did everything with the Wazirike before Wazirike betrayed. So this man Uche is the person that is due to be this Ohanese president. So, but they knew that if that man happens to be Ohanese president, that things will not go the way they want. Mm-hmm. What did they want? They pick the man that never even believed that he's an Igbo person. He was politically joined Ohanese to get reference in Igbo in Southeast. So he went and they picked him, and he come and they went to Enugu against the rule of the Ohanese constitution. Because they know if they do it in Port Harcourt with the governor of River State, that this Uche will be the Ohanese president, they have to change it. All the eastern governors who never even attend Ohanese meeting, majority of them said it happened in Enugu. They went to Enugu and do the election, and they installed the person they want. So that is what the crisis you see. So that if you win, and that person, they will not change. They can never step on that position, whether you like it or not. So that's one thing you must understand with what is happening. So Soludo as a person, if you ask Soludo today, do you want Biafra? 100% they want Biafra, but they cannot stand to say it. He cannot stand it. And if he didn't say it one day, the next day they will remove him. Either by assassination or by anyhow. Yeah. He must go. So that is one thing people must understand. And it would take, I don't know what it would take. Those people that can come and speak, even to ask the Tinubu, why not walk through going to what do you call it, a referendum as a governor. If any governor standing, if it's Soludo now, stand as an ambassador governor and start telling Soludo and start telling Tinubu to make sure that he raises the issue of what they call a referendum. Another governor join him. If there is 2 governors from the southeast, they start pushing for referendum to know if Biafra will work or it will not work. Is you will see this matter will come up. If not even from the Senate itself. If any governor, as an Eastern governor, 2 of them, 1 or 2 of them, start pushing for referendum, you will see how it will catapult. But they will not do it because before you come in, they will tell you the areas you can never touch. That one is unnegotiable. And
thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. You see, this kind of people, we do not want them. People like Soludo, we don't want them. We don't want them. These people are saboteurs. Very, very conqueror. Everything he has been saying, this man is not after Biafra. These are people who are selfish and self-centered. His own wickedness is even greater than that of Hopus or the man. He's more crafty.
Thank you so much for watching the program. I appreciate you for your patience to watch from beginning to end. I hope you have learned a lot from this very program that I just played, this video. Please like and share the video. Share to all platforms. After sharing the video, now you can go to the comment section and put down your comments. Whatever suggestions, contributions you have to make, what do you think about the video I just played? Go to the comment section and put your comment. I will go to the comment section and I bet you I am learning a lot from there and you can equally learn from there. Let us share our experience on that comment section. Thank you so much and stay blessed. Don't forget to share and we continue to bless you as you share. Biafra government, peace, progress, unity and equity. We move airborne.